now it's time to head upriver and see if we can find a gravel bar. There is gold in the gravel bar here at the Innisfail Bridge. But I'm going to leave that for you guys.
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Your lies, I'll do what I want.
Okay, so what better opportunity to present to you the new and improved jet boat. This is a 16-foot long, 6-foot wide John boat, and the bottom used to be 48 inches, but now it's about 51 inches because I've widened it with a big 1/4 inch thick plate. So you can just sort of see the plate down here at the bottom. That's 1/4 inch thick, and it sort of tapers off under the front here. So especially when you're up on plane, that's what you'd be hitting rocks with. In the boat today, well, I guess we'll start with the Bimini. Got this thing for 124 bucks, cheapest thing I could find on Amazon because I was just curious about it. It's 6 feet long, 6 feet wide, and surprisingly sturdy. I've got it hanging over the back end just a little bit there so that when I'm sitting on my cooler driver's seat there, I'm sort of protected from the sun all around. Can't quite stand up underneath it, but it's super comfortable. And then today I've got my chainsaw because I figured with all this rain, might as well have a giant bonfire. Plenty of fuel. This is what is this thing? It's about a 42-liter tank. So that'll get me like 2 hours of wide open throttle and plenty to spare. Well, actually, it's a lot more than that. This thing has a pretty good range to it. I'll calculate that out later. Underneath the front, I've got my sleeping bag, foamy tent, everything there. My backpack sort of tucked in. And then the floor has about, actually, it's 6 inches thick of flotation foam underneath here. So I'm high and dry. Any water will run off the floor and down into my bilge. So I actually have a bilge for once, which is really cool. It's totally dry at the moment, unlike the last time I was at this river. Have the high banker with the hoses. Just a shorter length of lay flat under my life jacket here. Oh, which I should probably put on. And my little WX-15 Honda pump, which is great. Got my tools in that little box over there. First aid, boat papers, all of that stuff over here. And then the cooking kits over here. And of course, food in the cooler. I personally would like a slightly smaller boat than this. Just the weight of the boat for one guy when you get into that shallow water and you're pushing it on and off gravel bars can be a bit challenging, but you know, you get by, and the best boat is the boat you have. And this boat has turned into an awesome little jet sled. I'm no longer afraid of it sinking or smashing a rock and putting a hole in the bottom. The last time I was here on this river, I believe it was -10 overnight, and I had my boat parked in a shallow area because I knew there were some holes in the bottom. It was just that paper thin aluminum at that time. And it sank overnight, basically so that it was full of water at river level, and I had to use my gold mining pump to pump the boat out in the morning so that I can come back down river. Because of that, I never went too far from the boat launch. Today, I'm gonna head all the way up to the dam, and at the dam there's a river that comes in from the north, and there's also a little river that comes in from the south. I believe it's called the Little Red Deer River. The reason I'm interested in that, on top of course, I'll prospect right where I'm standing and along the way, is that Little Red Deer had a really good flood. So all these rains came through, and compared to what it normally is, it looks like it's a tiny little creek with almost nothing to it. And then you see the little graph, and it just shot straight up like, I don't know, 10, 20 times its normal volume. So I'm kind of curious to see what that looks like and see if any gold came down in the mix. But for now, do a few pans right here, take a few breaths of this nice humid air, and just appreciate that I managed to get out for my first boating and gold mining camping trip of the season. Thank you for joining me. This Bimini top, amazing investment. It's just constantly been raining, and right now the rain isn't very strong, but just those little, constant droplets hitting you, you get under here and it feels sheltered. It's just like a great place to have a little rest, a little break. So having a candy bar because I'm out here working, and got some gravel to go check. Nothing amazing, nothing worth setting up to dig yet, but I'm just working my way up the river, and this is awesome. This is the boat has a little more work before it's ocean ready, where I'm gonna, if you wanted to actually live on the boat for like a week straight, need some more compartments and storage, but this is such a step in the right direction. It's awesome. At this spot behind me here, it's not good enough to set up and shovel, but I'm finding some colors here. So let's zoom in on the pan. I'll show you what's going on. Okay, so those are little flakes of gold. So I can shield the sun. There's quite a few of them in here, actually. I should count these out. But sort of a larger chunk there, and the little ones all around it. I'm gonna keep looking, keep heading upriver, but can't argue with that, right?
I'm inspired by thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts, but something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Kill lies, I'll do what I
Nothing special here, but we'll try to get the zoomy camera going. It's showing up on camera here. So you've got one, let's set the pan down. You've got the one flake, obvious, pointing at it with the reflection of my finger. So there's one good speck, and then you've got a few smaller ones over to the left of it. Not a ton of black sand. So that was taken from this edge, right at the very edge of the sand and the gravel here. So I have down at the water line to check, which I don't suspect will be very good. And then this sort of fan of sand, if that's sort of where the water came to during this year's flood, I might see some sort of off to that side of it along those rocks. And then I'll just take one pan from the bigger rocks up there, although I'm not expecting much from there either.
told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream, I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time, no opinions safely. It's how I understand what I want in this place, see. Cause everybody wanna tell you bad things, what could go wrong, what fame brings. But success is a finicky thing, and if you ain't sure, no, it'll never be. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I don't have to plan it, I can go change my fate. You won't understand it, all alone, that's okay. People I can't stand them, they don't want me to change. Keep me where I'm standing, and I don't wanna be where I am. And I want something more.
I'm not seeing the gold, so I'm assuming that the Dickson Dam is right upstream from me. My other assumption is that the closer you are to a dam, the less gold you're gonna find, because you need gold in all of the gravel to then sort of move downstream and concentrate, and if it's right from under a dam, it doesn't really have time to concentrate. So see what I find. Might head downstream again and start looking for a campsite. That is the Dickson Dam off in the distance. Now, it is getting to that time of day where I'd like to set up camp, but I don't know if I should just do that and chill or keep prospecting. It's a tough call when you're not motivated by gold. It's like, well, I should be prospecting. I just don't want to anymore. I'm not going to call it quite yet. Kill the engine. We're going to float around, hopefully not smack into the wall. I'll show you these pelicans here. Man, those are cool birds. And we're going to zoom right out, see what it's like to crash. Didn't want to tear my Bimini off on that tree. Anyways, don't think I disturbed them too much, and I'm gonna float a little farther here before I rip on the throttle. Cool birds. Step one, I have the thermocell running and a mosquito coil, which is lit at both ends over there. And they seem to be working fantastic, because when I showed up, I got swarmed. Like, I haven't seen mosquitoes really yet this trip, but this spot, they were just right on me right away. So I was like, okay, gotta get this stuff going, see if it works. It does. There's no mosquitoes bugging me. This is amazing. It's just like a whole new world now. I mean, I'm wearing rain gear and stuff, so I don't have to worry about much for bug spray, but I'm not wearing bug spray, and they just disappeared. I've yet to pan this gravel bar, but this is it for the night. So I'm gonna set up my tent. I'm considering sleeping, like, I've got a good space in the bottom of the boat here, but it would be like my foamy and sleeping bag, I guess. And then, you know, the Bimini doesn't cover the whole thing, so I'd have to have some sort of a tarp. I'd take the fly of the tent and just put that over my face, because it's definitely gonna rain again tonight. So I'm thinking it probably would make sense to actually just go set up the tent. I don't want to have to take the tent down tomorrow when it's raining on me, but I'll probably get a good window of sun that I can do that in. Tent set up on a nice flat surface over there. I've got my cooler full of all sorts of delicious treats. I do have a stove. I was thinking of doing some sourdough pancakes for tomorrow. Unless this is a twist cap. Nope. So this is a Corona Sun Brew. 0% alcohol. I really like this stuff. It tastes very delicious. And then I don't feel at all hungover the next day. It's a legit good near beer. So, I mean, I guess I could call that a step 2, but Steve probably wouldn't be too happy about the no alcohol thing. What do I have for dinner here today? I've still got to figure out exactly how to, like, actually, you know, eat and live on this boat. But that is a problem for later. For now, we're going to get some heat on this pan. Slice some butter into it, which is super useful so you know exactly how hot the pan is. So this is teff sourdough. So it's like sourdough pancakes, but it's made with teff flour, which is high in protein and quite delicious. I discovered teff porridge the other day. Just been playing around with teff. And it does taste pretty delicious, especially when it's done up as a pancake with lots and lots of butter. Here goes something. Do a big one. Nice and sour. I like that. The way you do this is, like, once you get the culture, this actually was a regular wheat flour culture, and I just started adding teff instead. But you sort of use however much you're going to use, and then to the leftover you just add more flour and water, or in this case teff and water, and it sort of naturally, like, the sour comes from, I believe it's like a vinegar in there, and that keeps it from going moldy. And there's a combination of, like, a yeast and bacteria that makes the sour culture happen. Interestingly enough, there's actual bubbles in here, so it's actually working, which is good. It's a very hot pan. I don't think it's usually that quick at home. It's nice. Well, can't say I'm not a little disappointed with the gold situation, but kind of expected that. With the goal of hunting for gold, I need to go to different rivers, but really I hadn't taken the jet boat out. I hadn't been prospecting all season, so I kind of wanted to just, you know, get the boat wet, and this is a perfect place to do it. And got to make sure everything's still working, make sure, you know, everything that's here I can tuck away into a corner and make sure I don't forget to bring it next time. Make some notes for some missing pieces. But yeah, it's always a beautiful place to wake up if you're in the river valley camping, even if it is going to be raining a lot. That butter gives it a nice crispy texture there. It's gonna be light for a while here, but it's getting nice and dim, so might kick the feet up in the tent there and watch a bit of a show, maybe a YouTube video downloaded, and call her a night for now. I can hear this low hum, like this little bzzz. That's crazy. I'm gonna go hide in the tent now. About 7:30 in the morning. Seem to have a break in the rain, so I'm going to scurry out of here while I have the chance. I am grateful right now that I'm out in the sun and not wearing rain pants for once, but a little disappointed about the lack of gold. Right here we have this pan. Now I would definitely not say that this is profitable. I don't know what we have, like 30 little flakes or something, but of what I was able to find on this trip, that's the best stuff. And if you did set up for an hour, it would add up to something where it would take a good picture and you could be proud of having taken your equipment somewhere that actually has some gold to test it out. So hopefully, well, I'm not, giving you the gold at the end of the rainbow. That may be helpful to somebody. I just wanted to go over some numbers from this trip. So gasoline price is high. For the car, I drove 258 kilometers and burned 34 liters. That works out to about 13.2 liters per 100 kilometers, or about 18 miles per gallon. This thing tows like an air brake for my little Subaru. It's an area of improvement, but that's just the reality. And the bonus is it was a short drive relative to most of my trips. For the boat, it actually gets pretty good miles per gallon for a boat. So on this trip, I traveled from the Innisfail bridge all the way up to the dam, and then all the way back down pretty much to the city limits of Red Deer, and then back to the bridge. That was 96 kilometers total on the water. Doing that, I burned 35 liters, which calculates out to 36.5 liters per 100 kilometers traveled, or 6.5 miles per gallon. Calculating the speed out on the water, it sort of varies. If you're on shallow water, you go a little bit quicker because the bottom of your hull is in ground effects, versus if you're in a deeper section and then upriver versus downriver, you got to average those speeds. But it seems like if I was in a deep lake or going across the ocean, I travel at about 40 kilometers an hour, and then for the shallower sections of river, about 45 kilometers an hour, and that's with that Bimini up. That means that the 40-liter tank, I would have a 110 kilometer range. And what I'm really calculating off of that is that I would need 140 liters of gas total, meaning those 20-liter jerry cans, I need 5 of those full, to make the range of the trip that I want to do out of the coast at some point, either this fall or most likely next year. But based on the weight carrying capacity of this hull and how much power it has, I think that I could actually make that trip happen with 140 liters on board, still get up on plane and get to where I'm looking to go. So that would be super cool if that happens. Yeah, no gold to show. You guys got to go grab those 30 colors per pan before they're all gone. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will be on the gold at some point this summer. Fingers crossed. Till next time, cheers and thanks for watching.